Everybody, we are rolling right along with the college football season. If you can believe it, the month of October is here. Alabama will take a trip to Columbia, Missouri to play the Tigers after coming off a big win over Vanderbilt. Matt Stahl, Simone Eli joining you for this week's edition of Head to Head. Matt, before we look ahead, let's unpack this win over Vanderbilt. A lot of hoopla going into this. College game day, Johnny Manziel in the house. Alabama gets it done. And although the score was maybe closer than what it indicated, it seemed like Alabama had this game in hand, at least on the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it was lousy execution sort of in the first half offensively for Alabama. Ty Simpson with his first interception of the season. Just like people not being where they needed to be a little bit. They get that fixed. Yeah, second half, Alabama just kind of runs them over.
Yeah.
It's a good Vanderbilt team. It doesn't seem like it's a great Vanderbilt team, at least. Well, it's great by Vanderbilt standards. Not
It's great for Vanderbilt
Yeah,
standards.
it's
There's
the
no
best
question about
Vanderbilt
that.
team
Yeah.
ever, or at
Yes.
least it's like 1705 or something. But
Uh,
yeah, it was a real like SEC test for Alabama. They
yeah.
passed it. Defense looked really good in the second half. Yeah, on to the rest of their ranked SEC opponents.
No doubt. So Alabama improves to 2-0, and it does seem, in part, at least, that Florida State loss is getting further and further away, not just by date, but also from memory when it comes to Tide fans, maybe us in the media saying, okay, maybe it wasn't the end of the world what we saw there in week 1 in Tallahassee.
Yeah, yeah. I've spent a lot of time this last week questioning what exactly that was. Maybe they got it out of their system. Maybe it's still in there somewhere. It's one of
Yes.
those things. Like I guess it gets back to like a like fundamental like what are we doing in college football thing right now, where
Yeah.
it's like I think the ceiling for Alabama right now is like very very high. Like the ceiling could be like SEC
Absolutely.
championship, like see where it
Absolutely.
goes in the playoffs. But like the floor is also that, and yeah, it would behoove them to not have another game like that. And I mean, they haven't since, but I guess it'll sort of always be like in the back of your mind the rest of the season. Like, guys, that's still in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, and then you wonder if the wheels fall off in some way, if somebody just has their number, or will Missouri be that? Let's talk about Missouri. They're 5-0 on the season, and I was asked today a good question, and that is, what to their schedule to this point has impressed you enough to believe that this 3.5 point spread makes any sense in terms of what this game's going to look like? Why it would be close?
Yeah, it's Mizzou running the football is the big thing. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, they've not played anybody awesome, but I mean, they did go get an SEC win on the road at South Carolina, albeit South Carolina doesn't look very good, albeit South Carolina's best player was out for most of that game. So, like, yeah, plenty there.
sure.
They also played Kansas. They're for sure getting Kansas's best shot. Like, I mean, that is a blood feud.
Because yeah,
That's
no
what
doubt.
that's one of the underrated rivalries I think in college sports. Uh, so like they've played some games that were tough, but yeah, it's the run game. I mean, Ahmad Hardy like might be the best running back in the SEC. He's really really excellent. They got other running backs. They got Bo Prabula, so just like a number you sort of have to
Sure.
respect in the run game. So like it seems like a very styles makes fight year in the SEC. Like you don't have like a super death machine anywhere in the conference, like
Sure.
Alabama used to be, like Georgia was for a bit.
Those days are
Uh,
probably over, Matt. Nowadays,
no,
now that
so
we're in this NIL era and all that. Yeah.
yes, so I guess the spread being close probably comes down to like Missouri on paper. Like you still question Alabama's run defense a good bit.
Yeah.
Like we've seen it work once the entire
Yeah.
time Kalen DeBoer and Kane Wommack have been here. So, like on paper, Missouri stylistically not a great matchup for Alabama. So yeah, we'll see how
Yeah.
that goes.
Yeah. And Eli Drinkwitz is a guy who he says a lot at media days and when he has certain availabilities, but for the most part, I feel like this is a guy who keeps it to himself. And I do feel like that's kind of dangerous in the fact that Missouri was not that far off from being a part of the conversation a year ago. This isn't like Vanderbilt that just showed up yesterday and overnight. Like he's been building this to an extent. So you do wonder, is this going to be as competitive as the people in Vegas believe it's going to be? You add in the fact that it's on the road and it's at 11 a.m. We know that can be a tough battle for anybody. Nick Saban harped on that for years. You got to imagine that Kalen DeBoer, in his kind of new revamped a little more go-getter attitude is probably harping on these guys like, hey, don't let this be a trap situation given what next week looks like as well.
Yeah, it's the classic like Jefferson Pilot trap game, right? Like an
Yes,
11 a.m. kick. Like it could be some like really gross football for the first like quarter and a half.
fair.
And yeah, this is a spot where good teams will get got. So yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I think Alabama. I think there's probably something to the morning practice thing
Mm-hmm.
helping out here. Like guys are more used to like just sort of being
Getting out, yeah.
like in and ready to go. But yeah, I mean and it's one having covered Eli Drinkwitz for a while. Like boy, he'd love to win this game.
Oh, then he
Like
would
he's
be relentless. He can be
dr-
relentless sometimes. He would be relentless here. Yeah.
yeah, he is hyper aware of what Alabama has been for the past,
Yes.
forever, his entire
Yeah.
coaching career. So yes, this is one he especially will be up for.
Yeah, no doubt. When you think about just this team, Ty Simpson, things that have gone well. Of course, we did see the mistake with the interception, all of that, but seems like, hey, now that there's a little bit of consistency in the run game, what Jam Miller has been able to bring to the table, you do have some question marks and guys who we thought would maybe go be these jam up receivers. I mean, we know Ryan Williams, what he's capable of. There have been moments where we've wondered, hey, is he just working through a lot of the things that come with being the Ryan Williams of Alabama that he is? And then other guys are kind of picking things up there at receiver. Where do you feel like you want to see this offense maybe just tighten things up a little bit as they move forward? If Ty Simpson has been as good as he has, where do they need to maybe just take that extra level moving forward?
Offensive line, like they got to figure out the offensive line at some point, or like I mean, it hurt them against Vanderbilt. There were sacks there. Some of them were Ty needing to throw the ball away, but like it the the seemingly ever expanding rotation concerns me on the offensive line. Like that
Yeah,
is a thing you would really, really, really like to have like tied down to five, maybe six guys at this point in the proceedings. And they just haven't. Like there's you're still moving Wilkin Formby to guard and tackle. Like
yeah,
it's the fact that they're still trying to figure stuff out there is like very, very concerning because it might not be Missouri, but you will run against a team that like will exploit that and it won't end well for you if you're Alabama. So like
yeah.
that's probably my biggest area of concern right now is like that has to get tightened up.
We've talked about quarterbacks who can do not only throw it but also dual threat guys who can run the ball as well. Not only did that hurt Alabama previously, but the thing about like Georgia, the run game, there were moments against Vanderbilt. Like I don't think that everyone's expecting for Alabama to give up like a zero rushing yards, but I think we'd also be lying to ourselves if we said that there have been moments where guys have gotten loose and we're all holding our breath, like okay, like that Georgia game it felt like if there was one more guy just getting out in open space, there was, Bama was going to be going back to Tuscaloosa with a loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you think about that 65-yard run to start the Vanderbilt game. I mean, it was just a case of like guys not being where they needed to be, and you get
Yeah,
through the first level, and then there's nobody there. So, like, yeah,
yeah,
that straight up can't happen against
yeah,
Missouri. That has to be like something they get just tightened up here.
yeah, no question, Matt. When you think about what this score could look like, the line, like you said, it could be a trap game. It could be a little deceiving when it comes to what the spread looks like. What do you think that your guess is here for who wins this game, and what does the score look like there in Columbia on Saturday?
Yeah, see, it's one of those games where like nothing would really surprise me, right? Like
Yeah,
Ahmad Hardy could run for 400 yards and
that would
Mizzou
surprise
could
me.
just blow them out of the water. It wouldn't surprise me
Sure,
that much. Uh, but also like maybe we see the same defense from Alabama, like sort of showed up like the rest of
sure,
the game against Vanderbilt, and it's not really much of a game at that point. So
sure.
like honestly, spread probably right around where it needs to be, right? Like I like 24-21 Alabama, I guess,
Mm,
if I
mm,
like had to put something on it, but like I
yeah.
don't know. Don't gamble based off my picks here.
Yeah, and likewise on that, I do think that Alabama wins this game by I don't know, 10. I mean, if I'm looking at it, 31-21, something like that. I do feel like it's still Alabama. I think the last 2 weeks have made us kind of long forget what happened at Florida State. But I think you make a good point too, Matt, and that you sit here and you hold your breath a little bit and you wonder, is there going to be a hiccup somewhere? If that happens, I would be surprised if it happened in Columbia, but maybe I'm not getting, Coach Drink enough credit as I should. But we're going to find out. 11 a.m. kickoff there against Missouri. Going to be an early one. Get your coffee ready. Get ready to get your mind right. We'll see if Bama can get it done and improve to 3-0 in the SEC. Matt Stahl, I appreciate this, your time here on Head to Head. It's been a great week and looking forward to unpacking this one next week.
Yep, can't wait to get to the electric atmosphere in Columbia, Missouri, the worst town in the SEC.
I was waiting for that. And on that note, the lights are going out, guys. We'll see you later. Thanks so much for tuning in to Head to Head, and we will see you next week.
Brought to you by Alabama Beef Farmers and Ranchers.